Hey guys, hope you are well. Just getting ready to go work out here. I have my Thomas Jefferson shirt on. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Gives us something to think about, that's right. But wanted to go over a quick tweet I had and then some stats from Johns Hopkins. So the tweet, and I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it's pretty big news. So we'll go to the screen share first. Done deal. Go to my Twitter feed. Here we go. Associated Press, actually, I'll click on it here. Associated Press, breaking news. Texas is lifting its, I don't think I can say it because of YouTube. Texas is lifting its mandate on, you can see what they're lifting, making it the largest state to end an order intended to prevent the cerveza sickness. Greg Abbott has faced sharp criticism from his party, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Texas lifting its mandates. The businesses are able to open 100% from what I understand. So my tweet is if the cases don't spike after a few weeks, and we'll see what happens, how will the mainstream media spin this? Because obviously groups like CNN will have to somehow come up with a way to say that this was the worst mistake in human history. And as a result, millions of grandmas are at risk or whatever they come up with. Who knows what's going to happen? All the baby seals in Alaska will keel over, I'm sure, because of what Texas is doing. But to be fair, we don't know. But we can kind of start figuring out the probabilities of what could happen. So there are no certainties, only probabilities. So to try to figure out the probabilities, let's go to Johns Hopkins. And you can say, oh, I don't like that, George, or whatever. But at least it gives us some starting point for the data. And I thought this was an interesting group of charts. So you can read this here. Again, I don't want to, I want to be YouTube friendly. So the new counts per 100,000 people. And I tried to highlight it. Let me see if I can increase the size of this even more. Oh, no, just screwed it up. Okay, I guess that's as big as we're going to get it. So we've got all the states, Alaska, Oregon, California. Then we've got Texas at the bottom. We've got Florida. Let's remember that all of these states had different types of regulations or restrictions, especially when we look at states like California, New York, and then states like Florida. So you would assume that these charts would look dramatically different because we had dramatically different regulation and restrictions. But what you'll see, and I'm sure you guys have already noticed this, the charts pretty much look identical. So regardless of what the regulations were, regardless of what the government did or didn't do, pretty much got the exact same looking chart. And another thing you'll notice is almost every single state peaked in the winter and mysteriously is coming down in the late winter going into the spring. And what else did this? You guys know where I'm going with it. If you saw the chart that I posted of what happened in 1918, it did the exact same thing. And I'm not implying that what we're dealing with now is the exact same, or that Cerveza is the exact same as the Espanol. Let's call it that. The Espanol sickness of 1918. I know. I'm not a virologist. I get it. They're different. But the facts are the facts. And they're tracking pretty much the exact same pattern. And that chart I used the other day, I know that was for a different statistic. That wasn't number of counts, we'll call it, and I'll highlight the word I'm referring to. It was number of people who passed away, but it still follows the same. If you look at this apples to apples, it still follows the same. The chart still follows the same trend lines. So look at this. Every single state, regardless of what they did or didn't do, the counts are just coming straight down. So that would lead one to believe that the type of regulation really didn't matter. Or at least that would lead those who is intellectually curious to kind of scratch their head and say, I wonder why. I wonder why all these charts look identical. Maybe I should try to find out. But no. The mainstream media completely ignores these, and for good reason, because it does not fit their narrative. And it just goes to show you that the mainstream media has no desire to report the facts or to report different opinions. They just report whatever propaganda they're trying to promote to cater to their demographic and to get ratings. But and I'm not saying, you can extract from this what you choose, but at the very least, even if you're a proponent of these draconian restrictions or regulations, at very least, you have to scratch your head and just look at these charts and how they're all almost identical, regardless of the different policies that were imposed, and scratch your head and say, I wonder why. So let's see what happens in Texas. Maybe their chart will start to look like this, where it skyrockets back up. Who knows? If I was a betting man, I would say absolutely nothing is going to happen. And it'll be very interesting to see how the mainstream media spins it, or just most likely completely ignores it, or somehow gives credit to the fact that, who knows, something Biden did, or Fauci or something like that. But that's what I've kind of crossed my desk this afternoon that I thought you guys might find interesting. So any questions on that? Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. I mean, that's a great topic, but you have to put yourself in my position. And although that would be a good thing to do a video on, the harsh reality of the situation is I have to be cognizant of the platform. And the facts are the facts, man. There's 2 billion people on this platform. And although I can keep everything on my website, or I can go to a different platform, I can't get the message out to as many people doing that. So now I can do both for sure, but I've got to try to stay on this platform as long as I can, because this is where all the people are. So this type of video, I don't know how I could. I don't know what type of language I could use to get away with that one, but I don't know if I could pull that off, buddy. Hopefully, sometime soon. That once if the mainstream comes to their senses, not the mainstream media, but society comes to their senses. And it's not so much an issue for YouTube. This won't be a big deal, and we can talk about this stuff. Oh wow, that's really cool. So I'm reading your Joe G's Craft Cannabis Guides. Man, it's been a year since you've seen your parents. Wow. Wow. Well, that's significant on a lot of different levels, but the bottom line, regardless, you're seeing them now, man. So that's exciting. That's really really cool. Congratulations, man. I'm sure you're super super stoked. That's neat. Hopefully, regardless of a shot, or maybe people just not being as concerned moving forward, regardless of the reasons why, hopefully we'll see a lot more of this in the months to come, hopefully the weeks to come, where people who have been apart for so long will get to hang out again and just experience life. Because at the end of the day, what we did in 2020 and what we're still doing in some areas now, you've got to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why is life worth living? Right? Why? And if we're taking away all the reasons for living just to be safe, let's do a cost benefit analysis there, right? And at the end of the day, we can talk about investing and Bitcoin and gold and macroeconomics and making money and all that fun stuff, personal freedom. But listen, it's all about family. And it's all about the relationships we have with other individuals, other human beings. And it's really neat that that you're able to do that. And hopefully a lot more of us and a lot more Americans will be able to, and not just Americans, but Aussies and Europeans and everyone across the world will hopefully, that have had to have that separation from their family, will be reunited very very soon, and just kind of get back to normal and get back to not only enjoying but just living life, right? Let's live life again. All right, folks, I've got to get to the gym before my live stream with Miss Lynn Alden on the Rebel Capitalist Pro member site. So let's do some quick shout outs here. We've got Luis Rea, a Skymaster, Harry Hunter, Angelique in the house, Peter, VK Travel Log, Wayne James P, Boto, Steve Odlin, Anthony in the house, All Nighter Hider in the house, Samarth Kochar in the house, Guillermo 1991, Mitch Goslin, Tacticus 1979, Yaren Lee, and the Godfather, Wayne Smith. Kate, that my friend, Ganemy, and make sure you watch tonight's housing market macro to talk about. It's going to blow your mind, you guys. And on this channel, I'll see you tomorrow on the next live stream.